Hello everyone, today I'm bringing you a review of a newly customized and modified watch, the Rolex Day-Date 18239-02691, a business watch featuring the unique 69 green sapphire. This watch was custom made for a beautiful lady. Since it's a 36mm size, it's considered a unisex model. If we look at daily life now, you'll notice that most women are actually wearing larger watches, unlike a few years ago when everyone preferred smaller, more delicate pieces. For example, among all the watch enthusiasts I've met, very few people choose watches in sizes like 22mm, 28mm, or 31mm. Most of the women who come to me now are choosing watches in sizes like 33mm, 36mm, 38mm, 41mm, or even 42mm. It seems like the bigger the watch, the more impressive it looks. But it's true, when you look online at a lot of photos, you see many women wearing watches, Submariners, Nautiluses, and so on, and they really do look great. So this lady also has a great eye for style and custom ordered a watch that was rarely seen on the market before. It's a very unique Datejust with emerald markers, something you can't even find among replica watches. Today, I'll give you a brief introduction. The official retail price for this watch is 300,000 yuan, and in the secondary market, it generally goes for around 140,000 to 150,000 yuan. The case diameter is 36mm and the thickness is 12mm, 12mm paired with a 3155 movement. However, the configuration of the watch we're looking at today is not the original. This is a fully custom-made configuration. Both the dial and the hands are custom made, and even the day display at 12 o'clock and the date window at 3 o'clock are custom as well. The case and bracelet use an EW case and bracelet, and after an overall fine polishing, we've also applied a white gold plating. As for the necessity of white gold plating, actually, I've already discussed this in previous comments. The white gold plating addresses the issues of color and texture, but we can't solve the weight issue. That's because the original authentic version is made of solid white gold, while our EW case and bracelet are made of steel. We can only address the color and texture on the outside, making sure it doesn't look cheap, but we can't replicate the weight. After the white gold plating, the overall color becomes whiter and brighter, much whiter than steel, and it's very close to the look of the genuine one. But as for the weight issue, it can only be solved by custom making it in 18-karat gold, specifically 18-karat white gold material. Only this kind of approach can address the weight problem, but the cost would be very high. For a watch like this, with a 36mm dial, if we make the case, bracelet, and even the clasp, all in 18-karat gold, the price would be around 90,000 yuan, which is quite expensive. Of course, this watch, if worn by a woman, if it's too heavy, it's also uncomfortable to wear, so we went with white gold plating. As long as others don't actually pick it up and weigh it, just looking at it on your wrist, there will absolutely be no problem at all. This is a simple configuration like this. Okay, now let's take a look at the overall details of this watch. As for the markers on the dial, at the 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions we use natural sapphire markers. Sapphire, as a material for markers, some people might think sapphire should be blue, but sapphire is actually a category of gemstone that comes in many colors. We specifically selected a green one to match the original's more golden and hard look. For the round diamond markers at the other positions, we used real diamonds as substitutes, so the overall texture and effect are absolutely on par with the original, including the brushed finish of the entire dial. You can take a look at the delicate texture. It's extremely fine, continuous, and intricate. This is the original dial, and this brushed texture is one of its defining features. Our dial now basically achieves a very similar effect. It may not be 100% identical, but reaching 95% is absolutely no problem. Next, let's talk about the date display at the 3 o'clock position. The font style, size, thickness, and the three-dimensional effect of the date are all done quite well. Take a look at the thickness and size of the day display at the 12 o'clock position. Those are also very well executed. On the original EW version, the date display is relatively thin and small, and the numbers on both sides can't fully fill the window. The date display we've made is comparatively bolder and larger. Within this highlighted frame, it looks more comfortable. As for the hands, we've used a Dauphine-style hand. Take a look at the overall effect. There's a sense of depth, no burrs, and it's very clean. The way we've handled the contrasting polished and brushed surfaces is also excellent. Take a look and see for yourself. Isn't it great? For the pinion, we're also using a solid assembled pinion. You can clearly see the effect. There's a small white dot at the center, which is very noticeable, right? So, when it comes to modifications, there are two key aspects. First, the materials we use must be top-notch. Second, the craftsmanship of the assembler, like a lion's skill, must also be spot-on. For example, even if I give you a genuine hand, if you can't assemble it to achieve this solid, full effect, the watch will instantly lose its appeal and look cheap. It clearly won't reach this level of quality. Even though this hand isn't an original one, we've assembled it to look just like the genuine article, and the overall look is enhanced, right? Previously, when many of our watch enthusiasts wanted to modify Datejust models with gold-plated fluted bezels, we couldn't gold-plate the fluted bezel itself. But now, we've solved that problem. You can see that our bezel and the bracelet, which has already been plated with white gold, have the same shimmering color. This white gold tone is really bright and beautiful. The watch case is also the same color, and the case back has been treated with white gold as well. So, when it comes to this, with white gold plating, we can now achieve a synchronized effect on the case, bracelet, and fluted bezel. It's really great. Take a look and feel it. The main lines are also very bright and extremely clean, right? After the white gold plating, the effect really improves instantly. So, what are the actual differences between having white gold plating and not having it? I did a very detailed review on this before. If you're interested, you can check out any of my previous reviews to see the differences between white gold plating and the original finish. Thirdly, regarding the pattern on the clasp, as well as the precious metal numbers and anti-counterfeiting marks on it, we've also redone all of these, because after the white gold plating, the original markings on the clasp will disappear, so we need to recreate them. You can take a look. We've recreated the precious metal markings, as you can see, with meticulous attention to detail. The St. Bernard dog and the small Libra symbol are both very clear. Within the oval-shaped area, we've also reproduced all three anti-counterfeiting dots. The 750 mark, RM, all of these are correct, including this pattern here. The fine matte finish inside the Blix pattern has also been handled extremely well by us. Custom-made watches are quite expensive overall. For example, after making this watch, the price is several thousand to nearly 10,000. So if you spend this much money and the details aren't as good as before, or there's no obvious improvement, then it doesn't really make sense. As for the movement of this watch, the original version uses the 3-1-5-5 movement, which is indeed the authentic one. However, that genuine movement is just too expensive, and the customer can't accept that price, so we chose a different one. Currently, the most mainstream movement on the market that can achieve the dual calendar function is the ETA 2836-2 movement. I've also shown this movement on the screen so everyone can take a look. With this movement installed, first of all, it's durable, since it's an imported movement. Thirdly, its functions can match those of the original version, meaning the date and day can be adjusted separately. Its performance is also quite stable. That's basically all for the review of this watch. For the details, you can take a closer look yourself. For example, check out the small red security mark at the 6 o'clock position on the dial. If you look from here, you can faintly see it under the light, right? On the dial, the Swiss-made print and the two lines of small letters at the 6 o'clock position are both fine and clear. Many watches have issues with the printing of the dial text. When the font is very thin, it can often appear blurry or have broken lines. This kind of issue will absolutely never happen on our dials. At the 6 o'clock position with Rolex, many watch enthusiasts know how to distinguish between genuine and fake. For Rolex, the two lines in the letters conch are not the same thickness, right? If the thickness is exactly the same, it just feels off. That's not right. Also, the alignment of the indices, the thickness and size of the small English letters in the middle, as well as the spacing between the upper and lower letters, all perfectly match the original. These are all minor details, and we absolutely have them under control. Okay, so that's basically all for the review of this watch. Since there have already been a lot of reviews on modified watches by experts, and everyone has seen them, finally, let me show you how the 36 looks on the wrist. This is a woman's wrist, perfectly proportioned, but it's also absolutely fine for men to wear. Take a closer look. My wrist is 17 centimeters, which is generally considered pretty average among Chinese men. Not particularly thick, not noticeably thin. Wearing a 36mm watch case on my wrist looks completely natural, right? It's also very comfortable and looks great. The round watch strap, with its overall flexibility and fit, is already quite strong, so this watch is perfectly suitable for both men and women. It's very beautiful. See you next time.